Hey, how you guys doing? IVIICHAELxx 1.14.3, and I have noticed that the chicken farms aren't working very well, so I designed this one for myself, but I thought I would share it with you guys as well. I'm probably going to put it on a stream tonight after this is uploaded. I'll probably be installing it on my survival world. So yeah. Anyway, so to show you guys how this works, I think the first thing is that since this is supposedly a dropless system, um, I did want to let you guys know if you have a lot of chickens and you save and quit, sometimes chickens will actually pop out. Not a lot, but a couple will pop out in this chamber, and so you'll manually want to kill them. Just pointing out one glitch. I don't know what causes it, but hey, whatever. Second thing is, does this actually, if you put 16 adult chickens in this chamber, will you get 16 in return? Yes. So it uses a smothering system instead, which gives it a predictable path so that you can collect the items relatively easy. Now it doesn't always put the chicken in first, but you will have to grab the feathers manually and move them into your chest. So we should get 16 chicken breasts cooked, and we should end up with probably more feathers than that. It just really depends. So we ended up with was that 4 there and 12 there, so that's 16. So that'll finish cooking. So once that's done, once you're done, doing that, now it's time to spawn them. You guys can see there's some eggs that are just chilling there, and this lever basically turns the spawner on, which is automatic. But you could just leave it on all the time if you wanted to, and use like a daylight sensor and have it crush them, every sundown. The problem that you're going to have with that is that it stays on all day. You could use a pulse limiter to do that, but it just becomes so complicated. And I'm going to say that it's much easier to just do this yourself. Like if you're going to harvest wheat, you got to click the button, you got to get the wheat, you got to go put it. So if you actually want to get 100% return, this is the easier way to do it. So we actually have a lot of chickens in here. I do know that there is a block limit of how many chickens you can actually have. So yeah, 16 and 17 feathers, so pretty good return. I do believe that this has the maximum amount of chickens in it. I'm not really sure. But let's go ahead and smother them. Yeah, and we should get to see it. So now we'd want to turn it on the on position and have it start dispensing the eggs that it's collected. It's really not as much as it sounds like. In all reality, you would probably need 9 stacks. So I would say that this has 75 chickens in it. Yeah, and this is the deluxe edition. Now, if you really wanted to, you could just use this version here, which you can see I just left on. I don't have it on store. It only has about 50 chickens in it, maybe a little bit more. But you have to wait for them to grow up, and once you see that the chickens are grown up, then you can smother them. But if you smother them right now, you won't get anything in return. So we're still dispensing chickens. And so the idea here is that once it's done, you turn this back on, or leave it on. It's really up to you. And then you come back, I'll say, in a couple days' time. Maybe a day's time, 10 minutes. So yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, let's go ahead and make this thing. Alright, so for this tutorial you're going to need these things. And so one dispenser, one dropper, the rest of it you can see exact items. Feel free to pause it and write that stuff down. Alright, so first thing you want to do is place your chest wherever you'd like to. And make them a double chest. It doesn't have to be a double chest, but I'll say for the design I have, it's cool. So the next thing you'd want to do is dig out a 1, 2, 3, 4 area, right? And then from the chest from where you just dug out, there'd be 3 blocks left. So 1, 2, and 3, like so. And then you'll need to dig 1, 2, 3 down. Well, technically it would only be 2 down because you had already dug 1. And then you'll want to go ahead and place your soul sand, 3 pieces in the hole like this. So from a high-rise view or from the top of the chest, it should look like this. Okay, so where that glass is where we're going to stick a sticky piston, comparator there, and then we're going to need our only dropper. That's the only one we're going to need. So we're going to need our hoppers now. So one hopper on top like so. And then you're going to want to put your, you want to basically put the observer block facing towards the hopper and then this way. And what's going to happen is when it lifts up, it will make this clock. And so that's that part of this done. Okay, so for the lower part here, I would recommend just using solid blocks. So like this. So just kind of fill this area in. I mean, if you've already dug it out, you'll probably be fine. And then you're going to want to put solid water sources here. So let me just show you. So on top of the sandstone, and only on top of the sandstone, you want to make sure you see bubbles in it, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and use solid blocks here just to this point. And then I'm going to go ahead and cover up this area, which I didn't do on the other one. And then we're just going to carve out a 3 by 3 area from where we are. And so from here, we're just going to want to do this. And make sure they're solid for each one. So we can go ahead and pause for right now, now that we have this here. So go ahead and put a hopper in there. And then we're going to need our smoker. Place the smoker on there. And then another hopper on top of that. And then glass, like this. And then you want to do the same over here. And then we need to surround this little area. So I'm going to go ahead and use solid blocks here. But I do want it to be seen. So I'm thinking that I would like this to be a solid water source. I just want you to see it from here. So I'm thinking I would like it to be like this. Solid blocks here. Yeah, I'm kind of, it's not that I'm new at this, but yeah, this type of tutorial kind of, so we need one more. So 1, 2, and then 3, right? And you guys can see that these objects are going to come flying out of here. So that's where our first set of 9 of these will come in. So this is what we should have so far. Okay, so now on to the actual chicken part of this. Okay, so from this hopper right here, we're going to need to go 1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Solid block. And then I'm going to go ahead and say put a transparent block here. And yeah. And then we can go ahead and use our 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 half slabs. Okay? Alright, so right above this is where our piston is, and this should actually be our second one we've used. So it should be down on top like that. Okay, so now we want to go ahead and grab our dispenser. It's the only one. So the dropper was the one down low, and then this is the dispenser. We want to do the same thing. Have the repeater come off. Put a sticky piston in there, and then we're going to want to have these face each other, so face away from each other like that. Right? And then just put a block, and that's going to create a clock for us. Okay, so now we can get into the hopper part of it. So 1, 2, and then 1 over. Now it has to be this way, and I'll show you guys why. If it was here, this block lifts up. So what would end up happening is they would just go out of that hole, right? So all we need to do is basically build the hopper area. So you don't really need that block. Get rid of this block. Like this. Now it needs to be too high. And so I would do this right here. So this is where our carpet comes in. 1, 2, and 3. Now some people told me you don't really need the carpet anymore, but I'm old school, so I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm just going to leave those the way they are. Now I like to do these differently, so I like to face it that way and then this way, and then have this one come in that way. So that way you can kind of open it all up. It'll help you later on. Okay, so this is pretty much the circuitry done for this thing. So now we're going to go ahead and grab the anaconda door. Anaconda. Anaconda. Anaconda door. So you can face it this way, or you can face it this way, but I'm going to say I prefer it being in, just so I know a chicken couldn't hang out there. And then we're going to go ahead and fill this out with glass. Okay. So you don't technically need one here, right? But I'm going to go ahead and say that I would definitely put them there. So I have Optifine on, which makes the glass very difficult to see. But you definitely want to have this whole area. Now there's one more spot that's very important that you put something in, and that would be here. You have to have a transparent block there. Okay, so before we get any further, we're going to use the last of our trapdoors. So just place it down like that. And then like this. That's not working. I don't know. You probably have to break out that glass for that one, and then we're going to have to do the same here. Should have probably done that first. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. So seal this all back off. And you probably would have had to seal that back up and come around here. And so, yeah, make sure you're... Now, if you want it to look cool, this is pretty much the best way to do it. But I'm going to say you don't need... you're not going to need these areas here. Yeah, you won't need them for that side, but you'll definitely need them here. Now, if you want to kind of get rid of material... You could cut this out, but I'd say just leave it for now. It's nice to be able to see right in there and see the chicken so you know that nothing's going on. So this is almost wrapped up. So we need our only repeater to go right there. And then we're going to go ahead and take and put some of our redstone here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then this is going to be, if you guys want to have a redstone lamp, this is where you'd want your redstone lamp with the lever. And this is what's going to tell it to breed or not to breed, or to dispense the eggs or not. And so now we can go ahead and place this in. So like that. Like I said, you can make this whole thing if you want to. You can go like this and kind of make it look solid. It looks good that way. I mean, I like it. Something like that, you know. Don't even need those blocks there. Yeah, so it should be like this. Okay. So now that we have this, this is basically our main chamber where we're going to be doing all our stuff here. Okay, so next thing would be the piston. Okay, so the piston, it has to have a block on it. And then you're going to want to do 1, 2, 3. Make sure you have 3 on top here, and you're going to want to do a comparator, comparator, and then our last 4 pieces of redstone we should have left. And then right above the door, we could, yeah, sorry, not above the door, but right above here, which is our main chamber. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm going to I like this a little better. I think I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to glass, like that. I think that looks a lot better. There we go. Okay. So now we can smash our chickens. Okay, so this tutorial's done. Alright, so for the final part here, obviously you're going to need eggs, and you're going to need, you know, stuff to feed them, so seeds basically. So we'll need some wheat seeds, which I think is the best, and then of course we'll need some eggs, which I'm just going to go over here and grab a couple off of this. Some feathers in there too. This has definitely got too many. Look at that! Look at that! There's too many in that thing. Okay, so so yeah, so you want to come over here with some eggs and open this up, and then just 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not really getting a whole bunch, huh? Seems to work better when you crack them off another one of them. So once you do that, when they're full grown, you just come by, feed them with seeds, and breed them until you get to the point where they're dying. And once that happens, it's good to go. All right. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you guys think of it, and have a good one. Later.